ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। हरि ओम, salutations to all. So we saw 4 different levels of sadhana, all 4 bhakti sadhanas, which will help the mind to realize oneness with Bhagavan. These 4, as we saw, can be 4 levels where first, second, third, fourth one can climb that way, or it can also be that each one, when we take it to its completeness, can help the mind to realize the truth. So here is what we saw, the verses from 8, 9, 10, 11. And so these verses, first one, 8th one said, surrender completely to me, Mayeva, Mana adhatsva, Mai buddhim niveshaya, nivasishyasi Mayeva, ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Complete surrender of mind, intellect, so emotionally, intellectually. When one values Bhagavan, when one loves Bhagavan, that is the only goal, main goal in life, then Bhagavan says, Nivasishyasi Mayeva. One will come to realize oneness. Then we saw if somebody has very high level of sattva guna, then that person will be able to do this. If that person doesn't have that level of sattva guna, then Bhagavan says, do abhyasa yoga. So when abhyasa yoga, he says, what is that abhyasa yoga? So that is Mam ichhaptum dhananjaya, abhyasa yogena tataha mam ichhaptum dhananjaya. Abhyasa yoga, there is choose a name, form, make the mind single pointed, learn to have an alamban of Bhagavan. And it can be japa, it can be puja, it can be stotram, whichever sadhana one takes up, but develop that purity and single pointedness so that this surrender, what he spoke in the earlier words, will happen. So we should remember that these 4 are not completely exclusive paths. They are not 4 different, totally exclusive different sadhanas. Suppose I do japa, and in that japa the mind becomes so fully absorbed, one forgets oneself, then one has already come to level 1. Mayeva mana adhatsva mai buddhim niveshaya. And hence that person through the japa sadhana will come to realize the truth. Same way, now person whose mind has some amount of sattva guna is able to do japa single pointedly, will grow more and more in that. If suppose somebody is not able to even do that much japa, I mean that japa with single pointedness has much more rajoguna, then Bhagavan said, Mat karma paramo bhava. You do actions which are dedicated to me. So so some people who will have this dynamism, action oriented, they have to act, achieve. They can't just sit quietly, and because it's very difficult to sit quietly and then withdraw the mind and then focus only on the name, form. Sometimes the mind has that restlessness, it can't do that. And the beauty of Sanatan Dharma is all types of people are there for whom there is something or the other. If we don't and if we don't understand that, that is why we sometimes ask this question, that why there are so many forms, why there are so many methods, why is Hindu culture so complicated? Because there are so many different temperaments. And it can't be that there will be one path, one view for everybody. There has to be different temperaments. Considering them, one has to figure out what will suit whom. And so the variety is given. Here four. Somebody is super sattvic, then mayeva mana adarsa may buddhim niveshaya. Little more rajoguna is there, then do japa. I'm saying japa, but it could be any sadhana which will help to make the mind pure and single pointed. Then, if that is not possible, one is not able to sit, one has a lot of restlessness, then mat karma paramo bhava. Do actions dedicated unto me. But please remember, each one has to be done with bhavana. The important point here is the feeling and awareness of this, that I am doing this to serve Bhagwan. I am doing this japa out of love for Bhagwan. I am surrendering to Bhagwan and I am lost in contemplation, in samadhi, one with Bhagwan. Everywhere there is a connection to the divine and forgetfulness of the ego. That principle we should never forget. Otherwise, what happens? Mat karma paramo bhava. So we become restless. We start doing many activities and plan and achieve this and do that. And this is my goal and that is my target. And it is not only that. Am I doing it with Bhagavad Bhavana? That I am serving Bhagwan. Bhagwan put me here. What is the best I can do to serve people who are none other than Bhagwan himself? That is called Mat karma paramo bhava. Otherwise, it's only karma. And that is not karma yoga. That karma which unites me with Bhagwan is karma yoga. Which unites me with Bhagwan, meaning first I have to unite with Bhagwan in my mind here, that this is dedicated to Bhagwan. It may be a proper spiritual karma, like a dan one does, or a puja one does, or a havan one does, or even some other activities like preparing, helping somebody, to do any spiritual sadhanas, or cleaning a temple, or bringing some flowers and making a flower garland. It may be all those spiritual karmas which will unite me with Bhagwan when I have the feeling I'm doing it for Bhagwan. And it can be other actions, my daily cooking and work and profession and socializing and any other vyavahar in relationships, any of those. Mat karma paramo bhava means I must remember Bhagwan is being served by me and I am zero. Bhagwan gave me this opportunity to serve and I am serving Bhagwan only. Even if one does dan, one should say that I got an opportunity to do this. I thank Bhagwan and I do it with humility. That giver is Bhagwan. I am only an instrument. I am not the doer. So ahankar has to go. Then that becomes mat karma parama. Mat karma parama means that mat karma which is done for Bhagwan, not for my ego satisfaction. Then that will become a means. अथैतदप्य शक्तोसि कर्तुं मद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्म फलत्यागम ततः कुरु यथात्मवान. Then the 11th one said, if that also you can't do, that you remember me while doing karma, then what to do? Karma phala tyaga tata kuru. Now, interesting point here is, if you see all the three verses before 8, 9, 10, in all of them, Bhagavan said that you will come to be one with me. So, in this 12th one, he says, Nivasishyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Sorry, 8th one, he says that. Nivasishyasi mayeva. Then, 9th one, he says, Mam ichhaptum dhananjaya. You desire to attain me through abhyasa yoga. Then 10th one, he said, Kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. Madhyartham api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. You will attain siddhi. Siddhi means again oneness. Highest level, highest meaning of siddhi is being one with Bhagavan. But in the fourth level, when he says sarva karma phalatyagam tata kuru yatatmavan, there he didn't say that you will become one with me. That will come in the next shloka. So we will take it at that point. But here, what does it mean? If I can't remember Bhagavan while doing the action, if I can't remember Bhagavan is in everybody, and I'm not actually serving people, I'm serving Bhagavan, then what should I do? See, sometimes knowledge is not there, sometimes raga and dvesha is there, which makes me forget that actually I'm serving Bhagavan. We see only Nam and Rup, we see people, we see relationships, we see Sambandh, Vyavahar, all that, and we forget that Bhagavan is in this form. Then what to do? So Bhagavan says, don't worry. Sarva karma phalatyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. So renounce all the fruits of action. Sarva karma phalatyagam. Renounce all the fruits of action means not that I can renounce fruits of action. We are so happy to renounce fruits of action, especially negative karma. Do something and then say, I renounce the fruits of action. I am not interested. Tell some lies, do some cheating, some corruption, some manipulation, and sarva karma phalatyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. Karma phalatyaga cannot happen. Any single karma I do, every karma will produce a result, and that result I only have to face. What I can drop is anxiety for the result, insistence on the result I can drop. That I must get this particular result only, and without that I am not happy, that insistence I have to drop. I can expect a particular result. Does the Gita say that don't expect a particular result? No. Gita says don't insist on a particular result. Because expectation, without that there is no possibility of doing any karma. Even selflessly when we serve, we have the bhavana that mind will become purified, Bhagavan will be pleased. Some expectation is there. No? It's not that there is no expectation also. That is not there. Even a Subhashita says, Prayojanam anuddishya mandopina pravartate. Without having a certain purpose, certain expectation, even a dumb fool will not engage in action. So expectation will be there. Insistence we can drop. So Bhagavan says, karma phala tyagam tata kuru. Means what? Whatever result comes, I learn to accept it. I may expect and work hard. I want to get this promotion. I want to clear this exam. I want to get this much percentage. I want to have that bungalow by next year. Whatever. I can have expectation and I work hard. With the attitude, I am serving Bhagavan. If that is not there, no problem. With the attitude that when the result comes, whatever result comes, is from prasad of Bhagavan. If it is up to my satisfaction, I feel grateful to Bhagwan, I thank Bhagwan. If it is not, again I thank Bhagwan, accept it and introspect, where did I go wrong, how can I improve? That's all. There is no question of being in a denial mode. This is not acceptable to me. Why did this come? I don't deserve this. I have done so much good. Why did this still happen to me? If I know Bhagwan's compassion, love, as well as the karma phala data he is, that he will do justice, nyay, then one will not question why did this happen to me? And what do I need to know that for? Bhagwan knows. Like a small child, trust the mother. If the mother feeds Cerelac, he eats Cerelac. If the mother feeds some smashed rice with some dal, he will eat that. If the mother gives milk, he will drink that. The child may have some response. That's a limitation of example. Suppose the child doesn't like something, it will respond. But the child doesn't know what is good for the child when. Sometimes the mother will give some bitter medicine because the child has some stomach upset. But the child has the faith that what mother has given. Same way, I don't need to know what all is my past life, which is my past karma. Not required. What has come now has come because of some past karma. How to deal with it is the free will Bhagwan has given us now. And how will I respond based on dharma? The knowledge also Bhagwan has given. If there is some difficulty, some sorrow, some suffering, that is why titiksha is required. Saying I deal with it. It's some karma getting exhausted, some negative karma getting exhausted. And the strange thing is we never ask this for good things. We say, why did I fall sick? Why did I get this terminal illness? Why did I meet this accident? Why did I have a breakup? Why did this person leave me? Why did this particular loss happen to me in business? All those we ask, but we never ask why did this so many people, why do so many people love me? Why do I have wealth, or why do I have a certain comfort? Why do I have a good human body? That we don't ask. That we take it for granted, saying this is my, so we feel entitled to that. This is the normal, ये तो होना ही चाहिए. Nothing comes without karmic consequence. Some karma of the past. If today I am going through a good, comfortable life, it is because punya karma is paying for it. With my punya karma, I am paying for it. And so while exhausting this punya by going through a good life, how much more have I created? That much more happier my future will be. If I am using my punya to just eat, drink, enjoy, and be merry, and I am not creating further bank of punya, then at some point that punya will get exhausted. And that's why being good alone is not enough. I have to create my punya for future also. Now, the point is, whatever will be the result which comes, if good result comes, some punya karma and grace of Bhagwan. If negative result comes or some suffering is there, some negative karma is getting exhausted. Again, that is grace of Bhagwan. When I learn to accept and drop all insistence, sarva karma phala tyagam, then I can go to next level where I can drop all expectation also finally in meditation. We'll come to that. That next shloka will say. So, karma phala tyaga is where we drop the insistence on the result. We may feel sometimes elation, depression based on the result that comes. If I can't maintain equanimity, how quickly I came back to balance is what I have to check and keep reducing that time. Some great news I got and I'm on the seventh heaven. For the next 5 days, I'm on the seventh heaven. And some difficult news I got and now I am in the 10th hell. Another 10 days gone in that. Now, if my mind is going to swing like this, then that is not Sarva Karma Phalatyagam. If it swings and comes back in a few days, it comes back in few hours, and after that it doesn't swing. It says whatever result comes, debit it to Bhagwan, credit it to Bhagwan. Done. Why do I need that karma phala? The more I want that karma phala for I, me, and mine, I am increasing my bondage. So once a person understands that karma itself is dedicated to Bhagwan, karma phala also is for Bhagwan only. Then what happens? The ego becomes very thin. But Swamiji, promotion I don't want for Bhagwan. You say ki I want promotion for Bhagavad Karya and do it for serving Bhagwan. That my family has 10 members and they all need to be taken care of. This promotion will help me to take care of that. I'm serving for Bhagwan's, I'm serving Bhagwan who has come in this form and family requires, I'm doing it. What do I have to gain out of it? Nothing. No, but you will get praise and appreciation and all that. And that may come incidental, I credit it to Bhagwan. Same way, if some negative result comes, people may criticize or you may feel sad or anything, but you say this is all debited to Bhagwan. Let me learn whatever I can learn out of it. Bas. Bhakta's attitude is very simple. No egoistic complications. No thinking about what will others think, what will they tell. They may tell whatever they want as per their prarabdha, as per their background. I am going through something as per my prarabdha. It is being destined by Bhagwan. Destined by Bhagwan meaning he is a karma phala data. Some past karma of mine only is giving the result. Go through it. What is my goal? I want to know the truth. I want to be one with Bhagwan. Please remember, in all the 4 levels, the goal is the same. It is not that the 4th level person doesn't know what is the goal. All the 4 levels, the goal is they know, okay, I have to be one with Bhagwan. Just that the mind at the moment has so much of Rajoguna that I can't even remember Bhagwan while doing action. So I am saying, okay, I will remember Bhagwan at least when the result comes. We are at some level in some ways in 5th level, where we don't even remember Bhagwan when the result comes. We think it is my work, my hard work, I did it all, and then when results come favorable, we get elated that way. And when the results come in not in my favor, then depressed. Up, down with the results, we keep going. Why? Because for me, the result matters. Without the result, I feel lesser. With the result, I feel greater. Bhakta says, I am one with Bhagwan. This result is a part of Prakriti. I don't belong to Prakriti. I belong to Bhagwan. And Bhagwan is Samam Brahma. Bhagwan is equanimous. Bhagwan is infinite. No amount of success can add to me. No amount of failure can remove anything from me. That if one becomes clear about, one play is going on here. Bhagwan is doing his lila. And the whole thing is a play of Bhagwan. Like that chess, 2 players are playing chess. When they are playing, at that time some pawn has small little pawn, that pawn can move only 1 step. First will be 2 and after that only 1. Bishop will go like this and horse will go whatever 2.5 squares, all that. So they have some power. But when the player decides to wrap up everything, they'll all go into the same box. Where is the king? Where is the pawn? Where is what? Everything is in one box. Same way, somebody is rich, somebody is poor, somebody is talented, somebody is challenged. All these are there. One play is going on as per karma. Bhagwan's Leela, it is going on. If I remember the whole thing is Bhagwan's Leela at all times, then this karma phala tyaga will happen because it is Bhagwan's Leela. Or if I say that no, I am doing this for realizing God, then also we say learn to accept whatever has come as prasad of Bhagwan. Then also I'll become equanimous. But if I forget either of these, then my self-esteem, my self-worth, my self-confidence is connected to my karma, phala. Then I want approval, validation, praise, appreciation, all this. Otherwise, I feel lesser. So these four levels now, when Bhagavan has said, the sarva karma phalatyagam, the fourth level, tata kuru yatatmavan. How will this level lead a person to realization? Earlier three levels by themselves will lead them to realization. How will this one lead to realization? That he didn't tell. Suppose I do sarva karma phalatyaga, I learn to accept everything as it comes, I drop all insistence. How will I realize truth? Do I have to go to earlier level to realize the truth? So, see the beautiful application of sarva karma phalatyaga. He will take up in this deepest state of meditation. Now, see, 12th shloka. श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागम् ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागात् शान्तिरनन्तरम् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानम अभ्यासात् rather than mere mechanical practice without knowing the meaning, it is better to know the meaning, gain the right knowledge, and do it out of understanding. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. Doesn't mean abhyasa is by itself. Abhyasa in this context meaning performance, repetition. It may be anything, chanting, japa, puja, tapa, dan, yajna, havan, or even in general also in daily life I can apply exercise, food, eat that I eat, or the work that I do. Everywhere understanding plays a big role. If I do something with understanding, there is clarity, there is more strength, the chances of consistency are more. So, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasa. Rather than not doing mechanically, consistently is still better. Please remember that. So don't say ki that's the whole point, Swamiji. I don't have knowledge, na. That's why I don't do exercise because knowledge hi nahi hai. And you said without it's better to do with knowledge and understanding. And I don't understand how this will work. So I am not doing. Don't misunderstand like that. The purpose here is what? To understand so that the abhyasa will become more beneficial. If I understand how japa works, what is the logic behind it, from many thoughts to one thought to no thought, and how it unites me with Bhagwan, how to do this japa, what are the do's and don'ts. If with that knowledge I do, then that practice will become more powerful. But for any reason, if I don't have the knowledge, it doesn't mean I have to stop practice. I should go and get knowledge while continuing the practice. And in some situations in life, we should remember that first the practice will start, then the knowledge will also come. That also is possible. So many things we learn in childhood. Do we know the meaning of everything? But we learn. Once we learn, then we understand, acha, this is what this means when we grow up. Some nursery rhyme or some shlokas and some things that we learn to chant or whatever, puzzles that one does. One doesn't know the meaning sometimes. One doesn't know the impact of it or the importance of it. One is doing. So many things happen like that even for elders. People get married also. They don't know why they want to get married. Everybody doing, I should do. Then one will understand, oh, this is the purpose of marriage. Many people marry because of romance. That can be a cause. But marriage is not more romance. Marriage is adjustment, responsibility, working together, the path of dharma. It is so much more. As one gets into it, then we'll understand, oh, it is all this. So it's not necessary everything will start only after gaining knowledge. It may start before, then one gains knowledge. But whatever it is, if I gain knowledge and start abhyas, or I start abhyas and then gain knowledge, knowledge is important. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. Knowledge here means understanding, clarity, do's, don'ts, all that. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. Then jnanat dhyanam vishishyate. Better than jnana, only understanding, is assimilation. Dhyana here means assimilation. Jnanat dhyanam vishishyate. That I must be able to assimilate it, apply it, and lift my mind to the higher level, beyond body consciousness. Nididhyasan, what we call. So rather than mechanical rituals, what I was doing, I learned to get knowledge, gain the knowledge. Shravan, I should do. Manan, I should do. Then do Nididhyasan next. And what is the Nididhyasan? I am not the body, mind, intellect, I am infinite consciousness. Reject who I am not, assert who I am. When one does this, ideally one should realize the truth then. But there comes the next part. Bhagavan says, Dhyana karma phalatyagam. Drop the attachment to the result. That is subtlest and that is more powerful than even Nididhyasan. Swamiji, I thought karma phalatyaga is the last level. That karma phalatyaga one has to do. If one can't do dedicated action to Bhagavan, if one can't do abhyasa, one can't do nididhyasan. And now you are saying it is greater than nididhyasan also. Even in Vedanta path, if you see, karma yoga comes first. In that prasada buddhi is the first step. Then Ishwar arpana buddhi. Then you do upasana. Then you go to guru. Then you do listening, reflection, contemplation. So karma phalatyaga is the first step. Now you are saying last. It is superior to even nididhyasan. What a contradiction it is. So we have to understand here what is the meaning of this karma phalatyaga. The karma phalatyaga here is the desire to realize also has to be dropped. That is the karma phala. What do I expect through nididhyasan? That I will come to realize the truth one day. My body identification will end. I will come to wake up to my true nature. With that expectation, I am doing this nididhyasan. But Bhagavan says, Sarva karma phalatyagam tata kuru yatatma. So you drop all the attachment to results. That was at the preliminary level, which we have to apply. Here, Sarva karma phalatyaga nididhyasan is the desire that this nididhyasan will lead me to realization. That drop. Why? Because my nature is already one with Bhagavan. It is just that I feel I am the jiva and I have forgotten who am I, so I feel I am separate from Bhagavan, and this nididhyasan will lead me to that. Nididhyasan can help me to remove the obstacles to realization, make my vision more clear, but final realization is to realize that I am already what I seek. There is nothing to achieve. Infinity is always there. It is not that a process is going to create infinity. Then that's not infinite. Because it was not there existing before the process. Nididhyasan is not creating Brahmajnana. Or this process of remembering Bhagavan is not producing the result of Bhagavad Sakshatkar. Bhagavad Sakshatkar happens by the will of Bhagavan. And so how does a bhakta practice? The bhakta says, I just have the joy of chanting Bhagavan's name or remembering him or his form, his leelas, everything. I don't even want mukti. If Bhagavan wants to give me mukti, he will give me mukti. So the desire for mukti or being one with Bhagavan is the last desire to be dropped. Don't say that, oh, that desire I dropped already, Swamiji. I don't want oneness with Bhagwan. That's why I want to enjoy in the world. Okay, that is not what is said here. That is delusion. Gurudev gave the example of the pole vault. This pole is taken by the athlete, pitched in the hole, he goes up, and before he crosses the bar, once he crosses the bar, he will drop the pole, leave the pole, and then he will fall down. That pole was taken by him to go from the ground level up to the top, reach the level where the bar is, cross over, and then he will leave the pole. He can't leave the pole before. He can't say, anyway, I have to leave, so what's the point in picking up? Same way, we have a single pointed desire that I want to be one with Bhagwan. With that desire, we drop all other desires. And everything we do is for Bhagwan. Finally, that desire that I want to be one with Bhagwan also drops. Why? My process is not going to create Bhagwan. That knowledge will come. That's why Abhyasa, Jnana is better than Abhyas. And then when that Jnana is applied, Dhyan is done. One keeps doing Dhyan and one will come to realize a point will come where one will just drop that desire to be one with Bhagwan. And then what happens? Tyagat Shanti Anantaram. Bhagwan says, the moment you drop that also, a sudden windfall of grace happens that Bhakta realizes, Arey, I will always be one with Bhagwan. That's it. So Karma Phala Tyaga, which is a preliminary sadhana, is also finally going to lead me to the last one. In the quiet moments of contemplation, dhyan, one has to drop the anxiety. Because this is from Bhakti standpoint, we say, because this is Bhakti Yoga, that Bhakta doesn't depend. That's called Ananya Bhakti. We saw that earlier also, no? When he said Ananyenaiva Yogena Mam Dhyayanta Upasate. Tesham Aham Samuddharta. He says, I will lift that devotee out. Who is that Ananya Bhakta? Who does not depend on people, position, power, situations, things, who does not depend on even his own sadhana, who depends only on Bhagwan. Bhagwan, I am yours, you are mine, I depend only on you, nothing else, not even my own karma, not even my purushartha, not even my past karma, nothing, only Bhagwan. That is called Ananya Bhakta, who depends only on Bhagwan saying, Jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahiye. If Bhagwan wants me to be in the samsar for another 2000 years, coming back again and again, I will be, whichever form he wants to send me. If Bhagwan wants to grant me mukti, I will take that. Whatever Bhagwan wills. One will become zero. Sarva karma phala tyagam means that even the desire to be one with Bhagwan will drop. One depends only on will of Bhagwan. That is Ananya Bhakti. From Vedantic standpoint, we say, when a seeker realizes this, that consciousness alone was, is, and will be, it is changeless. The whole thing is, the rest of it is a play of Maya. It never happened. Creation never happened. So there's nowhere to go, nothing to become. Being is our true nature and we are always there. Aham, aham, aham is always in our heart. It is every minute throbbing. It is there. Where is the difference? Where is the division? Sorry. There's no division. I am a seeker. I have to find out consciousness. I have to be one with consciousness. That is at the initial level. When one comes to this Nididhyasan, one will go from Nididhyasan to Samadhi. One will realize, hey, I am already that. His mind was playing all the tricks. So that is knowledge standpoint where one drops. Kathopanishad says that. Where one drops even this desire to realize, then only one will realize. Otherwise, the subtlest obstacle to realization is the thought that I am not realized. Now, Ramana Maharshi used to say this. I am ignorant is the subtlest obstacle to realization. Because who is this ignorant? Who is the entity who is ignorant? Ask. Are you not that consciousness who is aware of the ignorance of the intellect as well as the knowledge in the intellect? Who are you? How do you know that I don't know? That's because of consciousness. You are already that. For the sun, there can never be darkness. Same way for me, the consciousness who is Jnana Swarup, how will there be ignorance? There cannot be ignorance. To think that I am ignorant itself is the trick of the ignorance to make us feel bound. And when one drops that, one says, where is ignorance? There can't be ignorance to me who is Jnana Swarup. Then one will drop this even desire to realize. It's like saying that a multi-billionaire desires to become multi-billionaire because he thinks he is poor. Are he is already multi-billionaire. He doesn't have to become, just that he didn't know it. Now he came to know, then will he have a desire? No. Then he will only think, what a fool I was to think all the time that I want to become, I want to become. I am already that. Same way. Sarva karma phala tyagam tata kuru yatatmavan. So when he said that, then this karma phala tyaga is in the subtlest level connected to dropping this last desire. When one realizes the absolute, then one will realize the truth. That's why I say tyaga shanti anantaram. If you do the tyaga, immediate will be the realization. And Gurudev used to joke on this tyaga shanti anantaram very much. At a very gross level, he used to give that example for us to understand that how even at a gross level, tyaga will lead to shanti. This is our Sanatan Dharma. Where hoarding is not leading to sukh and shanti, tyaga is leading to sukh and shanti. At the highest level, of course, tyaga is dropping the ego, dropping the insistence, resistance, selfish desires, all that, ignorance. But at the grossest level, Gurudev would say that early morning, morning time, whenever one wants to use the restroom and somebody is there inside and there is a pressure that is built up and I need to go and there's no other solution, then one is waiting, array, keep on banking, come out, come out, come out. And when that fellow comes out, you go in and you relieve yourself and you say, aha, tyaga, shanti, anantara. Gurudev would dramatize it so much. That's at the grossest level. That how even at gross level, tyaga will lead to shanti. If somebody's behavior or some words have been disturbing to me and my mind is agitated, I have to drop that. Why did this person speak like this? They should not have done this. This is wrong. And how dare they do this? Next time I'm going to not tolerate. Our mind is holding on. If it is wrong, it is wrong. We will tell them next time or we have to tell them immediately. We may tell anything. But why do I have to bother inside? Drop it. Tyaga, Shanti, Anantaram. However you drop it, by understanding, by empathy, by objectivity, but drop. Then only one will sleep. Otherwise, they said something and went and one is spending sleepless night. So, 4 levels Bhagwan gave and the highest level he, for through each of them one can reach the final realization with the Lord. Now, whichever one we like, we can practice, but we should practice consistently. Don't say that today morning I felt like practicing level 4, then by afternoon I came to level 3, by evening I came to level 4 again, then again I came back to level 2, then I'm closing with level 1. Suppose we say now I'm practicing japa, let us say. That time apply level number 2, sitting in the morning doing japa, then apply level 2 fully. Through the day, then I'm serving Bhagwan, then apply level 3. Karma phala, what is that? Mat karma paramo bhava. When the results come, apply level 1. And when I'm able to sit quietly and do nididhyasan that I and Bhagwan are one, I don't exist, there is only God alone who is the truth, then level 1 that is. In a day, we have opportunity to practice all 4. Whichever one we practice, The purpose, as I said, is it should help me to realize oneness. And in all four levels, this sarva karma phala tyagam will happen at the last point, where one will just drop the desire to realize itself. Where he says that dhyanat karma phala tyagam, that karma phala tyagam will anyway happen in all the four levels to realize the truth. Now, who are these people who have realized this truth through either of these four methods? One method will be predominant method. Other four, because of our daily routine, etc., we may apply. So all four levels are applicable because we will face karma phala in our life. We will have to do karma in life. Must learn to become single pointed, and nididhyasan has to happen. So all four we will apply. But depending on what is my temperament, one practice will be predominant in a particular phase. So for example, if I have lot of rajoguna, I am not able to sit for long doing abhyas. I may do abhyas only 15 minutes. But whole day goes in doing lot of action, duties, responsibilities, family, work, profession, social life. So many things, action, action, action has to happen. Then what do I do? In that phase of my life, level 3 is more applicable to me. Apply it. As I keep practicing level 3, slowly the mind will become quieter. Then I may be able to sit for longer in japa. So each of these will help me to rise to the earlier level, the subtler level, and finally make me one with Bhagwan. But at a certain phase, there may be a certain level which will be practiced for a longer duration in the day. Like Puras Charan, when Samarth Ram Das ji did, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, or Akhandanand Ji Maharaj did of Gayatri Mantra 24 syllables, so 24 lakh times the japa of that mantra. Or he did also Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. At that time, then Abhyasa Yoga is taking up more time because more than half the day is spent only in doing that japa. So it depends on which phase of my sadhana I am in and what is my inner temperament. Which one will I apply for the maximum time in the day? Now, who are these devotees who have realized oneness with Bhagavan? What are their qualities? So now comes a beautiful portion of this 12th chapter where Bhagavan gives the qualities of a devotee. Bhakta Lakshan come here. So it is said about Sant Raidas. It can be applied, some places it also said about Naradji. That, there was a book in which the names of the devotees who love Bhagavan are given. And everybody is eager to find my name is there, my name is there, my name is there. And so many devotees have gathered and they all are singing and they are very happy. Oh, my name is there. Oh, my name is also there. And then Naradji comes and they look at Naradji, they look at each other. And Naradji also goes through that book. Then his name is not there. So these devotees who are looking at each other, they say, Naradji's name is not there. He's such a great Bhakta of Bhagavan. His name is not there in this book. So one Mahatma Ji was sitting there. So the Mahatma said, this is the book where the names of those devotees are written who love God. Naradji's name is not in this book. Why? Because his name is in another book. That is the book where the names of the devotees whom God loves, they are given. In that, Naradji's name was on the top. Means what? See, Bhagavan loves all the devotees. There is no doubt in that. Bhagavan is not partial. Oh, these are devotees who are special to me. Okay, these are other devotees. Take a little bit I love them. No. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti na priya, Bhagavan says in the 5th chapter. But what it also means here is that the qualities which are there in these devotees spontaneously manifest their bhakti so much more, and so Bhagwan's grace manifests through them so much more. Samanya Kripa of Bhagwan is there on everybody. It's like sunlight. It's there for everyone. Sunlight is there. But the devotee who has cultivated certain qualities, in the mind of that devotee, through the life of that devotee, Bhagwan's grace appears maximum. Why? Because it's available. It's like tapping the solar cells. Then you tap the solar energy so much more. I mean, through the solar cells, you tap the solar energy so much more. That way, these are qualities of a devotee. When a devotee has them, then the devotee becomes exceedingly dear to Bhagwan, which means that Bhagwan's grace manifests maximum through such devotees. And that's why you will find so many of these qualities now. They, in those shlokas, they will say that Yo mad bhakta same priyaha. Such a devotee is very dear to me. So Bhakta Lakshan is given here. And you know the interesting part here, nowhere here it is said that that Bhakta who wears a particular type of clothes, has particular types of marks, you know, uh, walks in a particular way with some type of different footwear, is very dear to me. Goes to temple every day, does the bhog of chappan bhog every day or on occasions, that devotee dear to me. Nothing external Bhagavan has given, except a few things like cleanliness and all that, but all the qualities of the devotees are internal qualities. Not that external has no means that I can do anything outside. No, that is not what is being referred to here. But what we think is, who is a bhakta? हाँ जी, तो इतने बड़े भक्त हैं, 10-10 माला रुद्राक्ष, इतने मोटी मोटी रुद्राक्ष की माला है, चंदन लगाया है, भस्म लपेटा हुआ है, एंड खड़ाऊ पहन के चलते हैं, एंड केवल सिल्वर की थाली में ही खाते हैं, महान भक्त है. और हर रोज every day this person goes to the temple and doesn't miss even one single day, rain or thunder or storm or cold or heat, he has to go to the temple. What a great devotee he is. See, that consistency is fantastic, and the bhav with which one goes ki I want to worship Bhagwan daily is superb. But if somebody thinks that every day going to temple, this man is a great devotee, he may go every day to the temple, but is absolutely corrupt in all the work that he is doing and behaving very badly with everyone, then that is not called a bhakta in Bhagwan's standpoint. So, what are the qualities that Bhagwan loves and which make the devotee dear to Bhagwan? So, when we cultivate such qualities, then Bhagwan automatically starts, his love, we feel much more, and that is true bhakta. Bhajanam bhakti, when we say one who sings Bhagwan's glory, that person is a bhakta. Bhaj sevayam, bhaj dhatu, from which bhakti comes, we saw that in the introduction also. When one serves Bhagwan, then there is bhakti. That person is a bhakta. Bhakta is one, bhanj amardane, means to break. One who has broken off all false identification with the world, with the BMI, and abides only in the bhav that I am a servant of Bhagwan and I am serving Bhagwan alone, then that person is a bhakta. In all these etymological meanings also, singing the glories with bhav, serving Bhagwan at action level, dropping all false identification at the intellectual level, all these are again internal qualities only. No, there is nothing external given. If you do this only, then you are a bhakta. If you don't do this, you are not a bhakta. So here now comes from verse number 13 onwards up to 19. 36 qualities of a bhakta are mentioned in this. Long back when I was in school, there was a movie which came, 36 Chambers of Shaolin. In that, this student, Kung Fu. So the student learns in different stages. And as the student advances, the exercises become more subtler, tougher to do. So Bhakta also, anybody can't just become Bhagat. No doubt Bhakti is natural to us. Emotions we have, we direct them to Bhagwan, that is devotion. But if somebody says no qualification is there for a Bhakta, just like the Vedantic student has Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampati, Mumukshutvam qualifications. But no such qualifications are there for a Bhakta. See, qualification wise, yes, one it is natural, one loves Bhagwan and one will do seva and one will sing glories, all that. These are qualities of a Bhakta which will enhance bhakti and which is truly what Bhagwan loves. So if I love Bhagwan, I should follow what Bhagwan loves to please him. And that's why Bhagwan gives now these 36 qualities and he says, whoever has this is dear to me. Again, there is not said a Brahmana only or a man only or a wise scholar, nothing. Qualities are given there. And he says, Yo mad bhakta same priya, whoever that person may be. Irrespective of gender, caste, community, creed, anything. If you have these qualities, Bhagavan says, you are dear to me. And so these are for us to introspect and understand, okay, if these 36 qualities are given, out of these 36, how many do I have? And if I have them, do I have them consistently? If I have them consistently, how am I living them? Am I able to be true to it all the times? And which are the qualities which are not there, which then I can cultivate? But Swamiji, 36 is a lot. How will I do 36 qualities? It is not necessary that 36 are to be seen as separate qualities. Many of them are interconnected. And a few, if we live uncompromisingly, the rest will also come. It is like a table, the table has four legs. And the whole thing, the whole table, if you pull one leg, all the other three also will move or not. And then the table moves. Do I have to move four legs separately? No, it is one whole. Same way, this 36 forms a whole. Few we cultivate, others will come because they all are not isolated, completely exclusive qualities. So, who is a bhakta? If I call myself a bhakta, I should introspect and find out of these 36, how many do I have? And please remember, this is for introspection. Don't judge people saying ki you are not a bhakta. This is not to judge others or to point out fingers and to say कि देखो देखो भगवान has said this. Where is that in you? एक लक्षण नहीं है तुम्हारे में, अपने आप को बहुत बड़ा भक्त मानते हो. That is not for judgment at all. It is only for ourselves. So now we see beautifully Bhagavan starts, and the first quality itself is most amazing. अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखः सुखक्षमी. So what did he say? Adveshta sarvabhutanam. No dvesha towards any being. Maitra, be friendly. Karuna, be compassionate. Nirmama, free from attachments. Nirahankara, free from ego. Samadukha sukha, equanimous in pairs of opposites. And kshami, forgiving. 7 qualities in the first shloka. Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. First quality of a bhakta is no dvesha towards any being. Remember, we said that the last verse of 11th chapter, 55th verse of the 11th chapter, is the seed of the 12th chapter. In that, if you remember, mat karmakrit, mat paramaha, mat bhakta, sangavarjitaha, nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. Whoever has these five qualities, yaha samameti pandava. He says that person will come to me. Fifth one is nirvaira sarva bhuteshu. That same thing is here. There it was fifth quality, here is the first quality. Again, it's not that in that order one has to cultivate it, just those five qualities Bhagavan mentioned. Here he says Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam, no dvesha towards any being. Swamiji, everyone else is divine except my mother-in-law, except my sister-in-law, except my boss, except my neighbor. Somebody or the other we have exception in our life. Oh, I can't stand that person's sight. Forget sight, even thinking about them, I get upset and angry. Dvesha is built so much. So Bhagavan says, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam, no dvesh towards anybody. For something that somebody has done wrong or some, intentional hurt one has caused, one doesn't say, ki, allow everybody to trample over me and go. No. But no dvesha in the heart. Imagine Bhagavan is telling Arjun that you have to fight the Kauravas, you have to even kill them, but do it without dvesha. Tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsyasi. You will not attain sin, you will not incur sin if you do it out of duty, not out of raga and dvesha. You may not like Duryodhan, Dushasana, all of them. They have done wrong to you, and you as a Kshatriya have a duty to protect dharma, so you have to fight, you have to kill them, but don't have any dvesha towards Duryodhan and Dushasana and all his other brothers. Nor do you have rag towards Bhishma and Drona and whoever else he has attachment to. No raga and no dvesha. Do it only because this is my duty, it has to be done. Even if I don't like it, that I have to fight and kill Bhishma and Drona, I have to do it. That Bhagavan tells him that you have to do this. Imagine that. That is the tough aspect of a seeker's life, is to have no raga and no dvesha. Why? Because raga and dvesha will occupy our mind. We can't give it to Bhagavan then. We can't think Bhagavan. Whatever I'm attached to, I will fantasize that being with that thing or that person, enjoying, relating, connecting, spending time together. One will imagine all those. And whatever one has aversion to or whoever one does not like very much, then one will have thoughts of anger, disturbance, agitation, hate. In this, where is the time to think of Bhagavan? And that's our problem. We are attached to children, to the spouse, or to the house, or to things, to comfort, to situation, to money, to power, to position. So the mind will all the time run behind that, to seek it, to want it. If one has got it, one wants more. If one has got it, one, suppose in relationships, one has got married. Earlier one was not married, one was thinking of the lover all the time, then one got married. Now one got married, then one is putting the effort to change that person. Where is the time in this to think of Bhagavan? Where will all the other things what we saw happen? Mat karma krit, mat paramaha, this mayeva mana adhatsva, mat karma paramo bhava, then abhyasa yoga. Where will that happen? Because raga will take away our time, and rest of the time dvesha is there. So if bhakti has to be steady, raga and dvesh have to become weak. Same thing you will apply in knowledge also. If knowledge has to be knowledge has to be steady and strong in us, apply in our life. If mind has lot of raga and dvesha, it will only swing up and down. In that stability is not there. So even if I listen, it will all drain out. It will not remain. The cup of ours is ulta. Because of raga and dvesh, the cup is ulta. How much ever water is poured on it, nothing will gather inside. If I remove raga and dvesh, the cup will become proper. Then the water will collect. So bhakti also is like that. Bhakti rasa, if it has to stay in my heart, what has to happen? That heart has to be a receptacle for holding this bhakti rasa. Right now is ulta. Nothing will happen then. So adveshta and sarva bhutanam, he says, no dvesha. If you can't love everybody, at least don't have dvesha. Bhagwan started with that. Bhagwan is not saying ki love everybody equally. He didn't say that. Bhagwan also understands that there will be some dvesha sometimes towards people, some unpleasantness and all is there. Samsara is like that. But he says at least don't hate. You may keep distance, you may not like, you are not very fond of that person, but don't hate. That's a neutral position. Neither you love them nor you hate them. Just hi, hello, hari om. That's it. Functional relationship, no further thinking. Don't give them that much power. Then what will happen? My mind is available for bhajan. My mind is available to surrender. Otherwise, they are occupying my mind. And how strange it is. Now, we don't want them to spoil our life, but by encouraging dvesha, we are giving them that power every time we think of them. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. When, how will that come? When I see oneness, then it will come. If I see differences, dvesha can increase, raga can increase. I have to see oneness. All of us are seekers. How will I behave as a seeker in this situation? That's another way to look at it. That person may or may not accept, but that person also is a seeker. I am also a seeker. If I can't see the divine in all, at least I can see that I am a seeker, that person is a seeker. If that also I can't see, I am a human, that person is a human. Will I want them to behave like this to me, the way I am behaving? No. Then I should also not behave in that way. No, but they behave very badly with me. That is their karma. Why should I fall to that level? I should behave in a anchored way, in a dharmic way. And doesn't mean that I should not fight it out if it is a duty. Arjuna is fighting it out. Nobody is doing it out of duty, not out of raga and dvesh. So how will a seeker act? My ego may tell me, दो के चमार जाके दे दो उसको. But how will a seeker act? Out of forbearance, forgiveness, compassion, empathy, anything, whatever value one holds dear. And it is only for my good, first and foremost. That we should remember. Why should I have no dvesh towards anybody? Why should I be compassionate? Why should I forgive? All that Bhagavan gives in this. First and foremost, it is for freeing my mind. Why does somebody have that much power that they can occupy my mind? The most precious resource I have is my mind. Why are they occupying? We don't want to even see them or spend time with them in physical proximity, but mentally proximity, we have given them so much power. Huh? That should not happen. Bhakta says no need. Most important is Bhagwan. My mind has to be given to Bhagwan, not to samsara, not to people. I will serve them as Bhagwan's manifestations. So Bhagwan only is here, nobody else. That Bhakta, Bhagwan says, Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. More of this we will take up. This shloka is also a very, very powerful shloka in emotional anchoring. Bhakti is one aspect. Bhakta will definitely benefit a lot from this. But emotionally, this will anchor us a lot because it has so many points of emotional anchoring. Karuna, Maitri, Samadukha Sukham, Kshama, all this very powerful emotionally. So in relationships also one can apply this to make it better. Of course, bhakti, it will lead us to the supreme, but even at a simpler level, one can apply in relationships. More we will take up in our next satsang. Today we will stop here. So we thank all our Yajamans, the Mukhya Yajman for all the entire series, Kalpana Morparia ji, Parag Wagh, Bharat Khanna ji, Vandana Jagwani ji, Geeta Aarti Yajmans for all sessions, Ajay ji, Dipti ji, Hemant ji, Jyotsna ji, Jolly ji, Jayashri ji, Tarana ji, Rashmi ji, Sapna ji, Rajan ji, Shalini ji, Nalini ji, Vijaya ji, Nandita ji, and Saraswati ji. Today's Dainik Yajman, Nitiksha Tarkas ji, Shalini Dhawan ji, Vishal Dhawan ji, and Pradeep Shroff ji. And today's Aarti Yajman, Santosh Kumar Dwivedi ji, Shanu Malkani ji, and Ramesh Chandra Prajapati ji. So we invoke God's grace, Gurudev's blessings on them, their families, and everyone present here. May Bhagwan bless us with supreme bhakti. May we identify whichever level of the 4 levels applies to us in this phase of our life, apply it consistently, and come to develop that bhakti where Bhagwan says that such devotees are very dear to me. So may we become dear to Bhagwan. Jai Shri Krishna.
ॐ जय भगवद्गीते मैया जय भगवद्गीते हरिः कमलविहारिणि सुन्दर सुपुनीते ॐ जय भगवद्गीते कर्म सुमर्म प्रकाशिनि कामासक्तिहरा तत्त्वज्ञानविकाशिनि
श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Yes, Ajay ji.
Hari Om Swamiji, am I audible?
Hari Om. Yes.
Swamiji, just wanted a clarification. You spoke about the subtlest obstacle to our realization to say is that I'm ignorant, and we mentioned who is ignorant. So in the morning when I'm contemplating after the japa, one of the thing we are saying that how Lord Krishna's come and he killed Kansa, Chanura, and Narkasura. We spoke about Narkasura being our ego. It is our ego which keeps us ignorant. And we say, we pray to Lord Krishna to come on Garud with Satyabhama and with the Sudarshan Chakra. We say, to kill this ego. So when I'm contemplating on that, I am saying that I am ignorant and asking, essentially to remove that ignorance through the death of my ego and making me, one with the higher or with the self. So how do I reconcile this? Because every day I do say that this ignorance has to go.
So there's nothing wrong in saying, as I said, the pole vault example, when you reach the top and then you cross over, then you leave the pole. Na?
Okay.
We don't have to stop saying immediately, because if the mind is having that clarity, see the sequence Bhagavan has given very clearly. He says, greater than abhyasa is jnanam, greater than jnanam is dhyanam, and greater than dhyana is this karma phala tyaga. Dhyanat karma phala tyaga.
Correct.
So in dhyan is my mind steadily remaining one with Bhagwan, and I don't feel I as a Mr. So and so even is there. Bhagwan alone is. Then this last thing will drop.
Okay.
Even if I feel strongly that there is an I, then ask Bhagwan, please remove this I. Nothing wrong with that. There's no reconciliation happening. There's only gradually one will evolve to that level where one will realize hey, there's nothing to realize. That I'm already one with Bhagwan. That will happen automatically.
Okay. So right now I've not reached that stage, but it's something that I know that I need to reach there, and intellectually yes, and understand it, but from inside and reaching that state is there. So that's why I say that kind of remove the ignorance and
Right.
help me realize the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do that. I'll be watchful.
Okay.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Yes, Jolly ji.
Jai Sri Krishna, Hari Om, Swamiji. Actually, I do the japa every day, but you had told us before while doing a meditation class or somewhere that how to do the japa. I forgot it. It is not related with the subject, but I want to know how to count in the finger, because you cannot take the index finger in the counting. And you had given up a video. I lost that video actually. Where it got misplaced, I cannot locate it.
See, if you are doing using a mala, then this is how we will do. The mala, if you are using, then between on the third finger, ring finger, the mala is kept. Okay. And you touch the thumb to the ring finger. So now it will become a closed loop. So the mala will not fall.
Yes.
And we keep these two fingers out. With the middle finger alone, we will do this turning of the bead.
Okay.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So one can do that way. Keep turning like this. And when one will come to the last bead here, we will not cross the mala, Meru, because Meru is symbolic of Bhagavan. Then one will just turn the mala, and the last bead will become the first bead again and continue from there. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Before one begins the mala, one will always do this pranam to the Meru, touch it to the two eyes and to the heart, because this is Bhagwan. So we symbolically are bowing down to Bhagwan. And same way, after the mala is over, japa is over, again bow down, offer it to Bhagwan. So that's how mala is done. uh, through this we keep the count. If the physical mala is not there and you want to do karamala, then karamala is on the hand.
Yeah.
There you start with the ring finger, this middle portion of ring finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This lines which are there, now we have to count
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the Meru. So this we don't touch.
Okay.
We don't cross this also. So again we'll come back here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Like that it will go.
It comes up to 10 total.
Yeah, this will come out to up to 10.
Okay, so we don't come up to the tip of the finger.
No, not tip. Only these lines you have to count.
Okay, the lines we have to come. But one thing now, see, Swamiji, how I used to do, I used to take the mala between the middle finger and I used to do it, rotate it with the thumb. Is that okay also?
Yeah, perfect. No problem. That also is
I
okay.
don't use the index finger. I just
Yeah,
remember the advice not to use the index because that is
yeah.
that
Like
predictive finger. That's why.
correct. Like this you can do. No
Yeah,
problem.
this I can do, na? Because
Yeah,
what you showed before, I found I'll not be able to hold
yeah.
it.
There are many people who will do. Even Gurudev used to do some of the things like this only. He will.
Yeah, this is what, if I can do it this way, then that is okay, all right.
Yeah. Now in this, when you come to the last bead,
Yeah,
then to turn that becomes little challenging. Oh, कैसे turn करोगे?
yeah, yeah.
Then you have to lift like this and put again start.
Yes.
So that you have to figure.
You don't cross that bead which is like a projecting out from the mala.
Yeah, that Meru bead that you don't.
Meru bead, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful lesson. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you. Hari Om.
Yes, Karan.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Swamiji, my question is not related to this class, but Ajayji's question actually sparked a question which I've been thinking about. So in the Bhagavatam, it is said, I mean, as we know also, that Lord Krishna has took an incarnation, Lord Narayan took an incarnation in the form of Lord Krishna to establish Dharma on earth. And at that time, before he was born, there was a lot of adharma on earth. There were a lot of kings who had asuric qualities, and he actually eliminated a lot of them in different ways through the course of his stay here on earth. So it is also said that Kali Yuga started 36 years. I'm sorry, at the passing when Lord Krishna left his body, Kali Yuga began at that time, which is about 36 years after the Kurukshetra war, approximately. So, and Kali Yuga is the period where adharma is at its highest compared to the other yogas. Please correct me if my understanding is wrong. So, how is it that Bhagwan took this, came to earth on this mission and achieved it, but Dharma Sanstha was only there for 36 years after, after the Mahabharat war, and how come once he was gone? So I'm a little confused as to how adharma again seems to at least
See, Kali Yuga will be adharma will be maximum in Kali Yuga is said not from the beginning. Na? Kali Yuga duration is 4,32,000 years. If you see in life, it's in our life itself now, last 20, 30 years, slowly certain things would have increased. Terrorism, fundamentalism, violence, some of the bomb blasts, that would have increased, right? This much would not have been there in the beginning. We are right now in the some 2000th year. Now it will keep going like that, 4,32,000 ke liye, it will keep on increasing. So it is not that Bhagwan left the earth and immediately adharma again has started increasing. It will follow its own cycle of karma, and the jivas who need this type of environment will be born in Kali Yuga, no? Who have to exhaust that karma, where they will have to go through some type of suffering, they will have to go through some difficulties, some heartbreak, this, that. Because Kali means that manipulation. Manipulativeness is maximum in Kali Yuga. And we also have to understand that in Bhagavatam only it is also said that the glory of Kali Yuga. That's how Parikshit Raja left Kali Yuga alive. Kali, he met Kali, na? In Bhagavatam it comes, and he spared Kali. He did not kill Kali. Why? Because of all the four yugas, though this is the most grossest and the mind will not be able to have that level of sattva guna, etc., the simplest way to realize truth is available only in Kali Yuga as a main sadhana. So Nam Japa is the main sadhana of Kali Yuga. Just by chanting Bhagwan's name, one will realize the truth. In Satyug, one has to do Nididhyasan for a long period of time to realize the truth. In that Treta Yuga, one has to do long rituals, elaborate rituals and all that. Then in this Dwapar Yuga, one has to do puja, dan, all that. And now Kali Yuga, only name. So, name of Bhagwan is good enough to liberate. The simplest sadhana is available in Kali Yuga. So, adharma will keep increasing. And those jivas who don't have that type of sattva guna, who need this Kali Yuga environment, will be born here. That has no reflection to Bhagwan's earlier avatar of Dwapar Yuga. Because if you see that way, then the same question you can ask for Ram avatar. Just that it didn't happen at the end of Treta Yuga, that's all. But Ramji also did Sadhma Samstapana, killed Ravan and so many hosts of demons and all that. Again it started, then again why Krishna had to come? Again Krishna will kill so many, and then again now why Kalki will have to come?
So, Swamiji, in relation to Ram Bhagwan only, it is said that his stay as a king lasted 11,000 years. So his period of where he established dharma was a very long period, but in Sri Krishna's case, it appears at least that it seems to have been a fairly short-lived phase. So I know this is just these are just
No. See, we have to also understand this age. Okay. So that way, if you compare Krishna Bhagwan's age only is 125 years.
Yes.
So Ramji's age, it's not, in my understanding, there could be other interpretations from whatever limited knowledge I have. I am saying that when Valmiki Ramayana says that Dashrath Maharaj was 60,000 years old, Ram Bhagwan ruled Ayodhya for 11,000 years, then if you see, compared to that, 14 years of exile is nothing. It is not even one day compared to the 11,000 years if he is ruling and his life is so much, उसमें 14 साल क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं होता है. But what I understand here is, it's not that people used to live that long in those times. The work that a king does, that was one interpretation that I heard. An ordinary person, what work the ordinary person will do in 1 year, a king may do in 1 day. Same 24 hours are available to the king also to an ordinary person. Let us say to the prime minister also and to an ordinary citizen, 1 hour, 1 day, 24 hours. But the responsibility that the king has and the amount of people under him and the delegation as well as the supervision and the amount of accomplishment that a king does in 1 year, 1 day, a normal person will take 1 year to do. So in that context, if you say 11,000 years of the king will be a certain number of years only actually.
Right.
And that somebody has done that calculation also nicely to figure out that exact age of Bhagwan Ram, and then they said that it is matching and tallying with all that. So
the modern term is called man years, like
what is it? Nan, N-A-N.
Number of man days or
man years and man days. Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
That makes sense. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Megha Parekh, yes.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji, I don't know whether it's a question or a inquisitiveness or curiosity. Like you said, there are 4 methods in what in Gita Bhagwan says. So in those 4 methods, whatever one method one follows, are there challenges and conflicts that happen in seekers? Like, for example, you told that the Lord says you should not have dvesh. But for example, someone is torturing you at home. Okay, so there is some amount of anger that is there. But over a period of time, if that anger is not love, that point of time only your anger is there, and then you don't, you distance yourself and stay away, and now you are very neutral. Uh, how from there, how does a seeker go? Like, what is the checkpoint of a seeker? I'm not able to put a question across very well, but if you can interpret what I'm trying to say.
So why does the seeker need to come to Advaita Sarvabhutanam? Because I want my mind to be available for bhakti. So if I have come to a neutral point, I will do functionally whatever is required for that person, and beyond that, my goal is to realize the truth. So I will put my effort for that. I may do my puja, japa, bhajan, tapa, meditation, upvas, whatever sadhana I want to do. My mind's energy is available for that. That's the next checkpoint I have to do. Now, that's what I have to apply the mind for. There is nothing else that I need to do in that relationship there, right? Because if that person has done whatever and now I have come to such a point where I have distance and I have come to a neutral standpoint, there is no hate, there is no attachment, ठीक है, then my mind is available for what? My goal. What is my goal? Be one with Bhagwan. So then I will apply it to that. And if something comes up in between in that relationship with attitude that how will a seeker respond, I will respond to it. Suppose for some reason I lose my mental balance also, for some point in time I get disturbed, then in that sloka only it will come Kshami. So I forgive myself, I forgive that person, I learn any lesson I have to learn out of it, and that's it. Khatam baat. Again come back to bhakti. So bhakti is my main anchoring. Rest of it is only a preparation for that. No? If anything is directing me away from that and making me more stronger in ego and individuality, I'll drop that. So keeping that principle in mind, then one can figure out how to go ahead with this. Yogesh.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Okay.
What does it mean by matpara or matpar?
Sorry, what does it mean by matparaha?
Matparayan.
Matparayanaha.
Yes, Swamiji.
Atmanam matparayanaha. That one shloka it comes. That you are asking.
Yeah, 12.6. There is this word. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matpara.
Matparaha. Ha. So matparaha. So ye jo sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. One who considers Bhagwan as the supreme, whose goal of life is to realize oneness with Bhagwan, who knows that Bhagwan alone is a abode of whatever I seek, love, happiness, peace, knowledge, wealth, whatever, Aishwarya, everything, Bhagwan is an abode of that, and when I seek be one with Bhagwan, everything is fulfilled. So keeping Bhagwan as the supreme and wanting to be one with Bhagwan, that is called Mat Paraha. Para means supreme, Mat means Bhagwan there. Because Bhagwan himself is saying that, now keeping me as the supreme. Me means Ishvara. So that's the meaning of Mat Paraha. We don't many times intellectually value Bhagwan. No? We value samsar more than Bhagwan. A bhakta is one who will have Bhagwan as supreme. Others will have samsara as supreme, and then in spare time they will do things for Bhagwan. Or they may not even consider Bhagwan or believe in the existence. So different varieties like that. So Matpara means one who considers Bhagwan as the supreme. When we think more and more about it, then security comes from there, surrender comes from there, direction in life comes from there. When I see Bhagwan as the supreme, and he is infinite, he can do everything, Sarva Shaktiman, Sarvagnya, Sarvavyapi, Karunamaya. So then surrender also comes, desire to be one with Bhagwan, to know Bhagwan, to have darshan of Bhagwan, that becomes the goal of life. So that is called then Mat Paraha. And what is the result? So he says, considering me as the supreme, give up all selfishness and dedicate all actions to me. Sarvani karmani mai sanyasya. Mai sanyasya means dedicate all karmas. Do it only for Bhagavad Preeti, not for I, me and mine. So intellectually, I consider Bhagwan as the supreme. Because he is supreme, I surrender to Bhagwan. And because Bhagwan alone is everywhere, I saw Bhagwan through all my actions. Then that is called Matparaha. This Ananyena eva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. With that, all this Ananya yoga, everything will come. That's what I meant by surrender and all that. Such devotees don't have to worry about their liberation. Bhagwan says, Tesham aham samuddharta. I will uplift them. Why? Because they have surrendered completely unto me. They depend only on me, not on what we said in the class earlier. Not on people, not on power, not on position, not on sadhana, not on oneself, nothing. Only Bhagwan. Bhagwan says, I lift them out immediately. Bhavami nachirat partha. Quickly, he gives liberation to such devotees. Right. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om